darkness. The echo suggests some kind of a corridor. I cannot move on without a portable light. Indiana Jones would knock together some torch. An unusual stand for an unusual lantern. An endless corridor leading to a locked door. Disappointing. If an electric switch is lit, the system is powered. Or isn't it? Like the one in our garage. If only I had some remote controller. The old cellar. Probably there's still something here that I could use. Here comes the remote controller. Wow, got it the first time. Except nobody can see how good I am. That thing over there looks like it fits the lock. Just my arms aren't long enough. There. Am I free at last?
Hi. Good to find you both here.
Hi. At last. Peter has important news about Balazs.
And I was anxious to hear if Vera knew of any developments. But she hasn't even heard from you today. Did you sleep late?
No, I didn't. In fact, I've been after Balazs up to now.
You see, Peter, I've told you, Jonathan promised.
Oh, no doubt he did. So I can't wait to hear how far he got in the investigation.
Well, I could only find out what Balazs has been occupied with.
And what is it? The meteorite?
Not one, but two.
What meteorite? Where are they? How does this kid know about them?
I can only speculate on how he knew about them, or if he knew about both of them at all. He may have heard an old story from someone, and he seems to have made a series of attempts to prove or disprove the legend.
You see? How systematic my brother is. Like a scientist.
Yet alas, he's about to pay the price of not being meticulous enough. While I wasn't worried yesterday, I'm no longer sure about his safety now.
Jesus. What is it?
This meteorite, that is, this type of meteorite, can be rather dangerous. They encapsulate some miasma, which is deadly for human beings. The scientists who had studied the stone centuries ago found out that chopping up just one such stone could cause the devastation of an entire city in minutes.
Must you frighten this poor little girl?
No, but I must make the facts clear and urge that you take the problem seriously.
Because Balazs may have got hold of this stone?
I'm not sure. But I'm quite sure he knows of its existence and probably its whereabouts or how he could get it.
But why should he want it so much?
Well, what we know about this meteorite is that its size is like the head of a child. It has a crust of about 1.5 centimeters, and it hides an enormous diamond.
Nonsense! Such extreme carbon content has never been detected in any meteorite.
It's common to say there's never been such a thing before, for any first discovery. There's a series of evidence to prove that the stone, or rather two stones, exist.
Or even more, consequently.
Could be.
What you're saying is that Volage wants to extract that huge diamond from the meteorite? This is rather unlike him.
At this moment, I can see no other reason. He was keen to find out if anyone had examined the stone earlier, and he found out. First, it was the famous Professor Istvan Hotvani, then the less famous Mihai Elekesh Tot of the Reformed College. The latter actually died because of the stone.
You mean it killed him?
Not quite, but he witnessed devastation by the miasma twice.
Do you claim that the inclusion located between the diamond crystals contains this gas, or bacteria, or whatever it is? A rather implausible idea.
It's not my idea. The said scientists described a network thinner than hairline within the meteorite. The tragedies occurred when somebody tried to chop a piece off the diamond.
But if Volage wanted to make money out of that diamond, he would want to break it into pieces, wouldn't he? Jonathan, could he be aware of the inclusions?
Having seen the documents evidently read by Volage recently, I would say he doesn't know about the inclusions or about the deadly miasma either. But I still don't know his source of information, so he might after all.
So I hope.
Anyway, we must find him and warn him urgently.
That's why the developments which Peter and I can tell you about are so important.
You mentioned some developments.
Yes. Things that may shed some light on how the boy has come to his discoveries. They fit into your theory, although they don't directly confirm it.
What are they?
I had a call from the Heliophysical Observatory. Borlash visited them last week.
Now that's interesting. Is this a solar observatory, here in Debrecen?
It's not far from the university, at the very centre of the Botanic Gardens.
They couldn't tell me what he wanted because the man he talked to was on holiday. But they assured me that they would notify him and he should turn up soon.
This is fantastic news, Peter.
Yes, it should be checked out. Are meteorites studied here in Otomki?
Not that I know of. You should ask Keikashi. He could tell you a few things about astrophysical issues. Or else, Professor Shandor Soloy, the founder of our institute, used to examine meteorites, if I remember well, in the 70s or 80s.
Did he? How do you know?
I have many memories about Soloy. I even met him, though I was a greenhorn at the time. But almost certainly it wasn't he who told me about it. I think I might have read it somewhere.
In a book, maybe, or in a study?
I couldn't tell you. But all the important relics about Soloy are exhibited in the main building, in a dedicated display. You might find something there. It's adjacent to my office. The key is with Mr. Vince, the caretaker.
Okay, I'll check it out. Tell me about the developments.
There's something we haven't thought of yet. Shouldn't we talk to Mr. Palos?
That guy who gave the party on Saturday.
Vero, seriously? Would you intrude upon this influential businessman?
It's not intruding. We just need to invent a reason to call on him.
Why not? Give me his address and I'll pay him a visit. Good morning, Mr. Vince.
Morning.
Mr. Lehotsky said you could give me the key to the Soloy display.
Not another request. I got too much to do. When do you need it?
As soon as possible. It's vital.
All right. I'll fetch it for you. But if I do, I need a little help, you know.
How could I help you?
This book should be taken back to Mr. Brown. He promised it to someone, so it's urgent. And Miss Zudmali wants me to deliver a few invitations. For a weekend trip, it is, you know.
So you want me to do these?
You can manage by the time I fetch the keys. Shouldn't be a problem with your fast legs. You'll find your way around. So what do you say?
Well, all right. But make it quick, and I'll be quick too.
Here's Mr. Brown's book, and I'm on my way.
See you later.
The 12th Planet, the book Dr. Brown has lent to Mr. Vince.
Good morning, Ernu.
Good morning, Jonathan. Some coffee?
No thanks, I'm in a rush. I've just dropped in with this book. Mr. Vince asked me to bring it back to you.
Oh, just in time. Thank you so much. Mr. Veresh has been waiting for it for quite some time. Could you do me a favor?
Should I take it to Mr. Veresh?
I'd be grateful.
Sure, I'll take it to him. Hi, Jula.
Hi, old friend. What are you up to?
Just dropped in to bring you this book from Mr. Brown. It's been with the caretaker.
Oh, at last. But tell me, are you going to see this Mr. Vince?
I hope so. Quite soon.
Would you do me a favor? He lent me that toolbox for the weekend. Would you mind taking it back to him?
Not at all.
Thank you. Hey, have you seen my kids? Oh, hey, have a look. Have a look here.
Oh, Jula, I'm in a big hurry.
Just a quick glance. Here's Maddie, the youngest. A rascal he is. These are the twins. And here's Copan, my eldest. You see, these little guys make life worth living.
Lovely kids, but I really must be going. So sorry.
Off you go. See you again soon.
This must be the caretaker's toolbox.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Mr. Vince, the caretaker, is busy doing something for me, and in turn I'm trying to help him. He said you've got some invitations.
Yes. He was supposed to pick them up. Here they are. One for Tamara Shafran, one for the colleague in the cyclotron, then one for Erno. And I've made a careless promise to the system admin guy as well. Here they are.
Splendid.
Are you getting on with your case?
Yes, I'm making progress. But I must run now if you don't mind. I'll tell you about it later.
No problem. Off you go.
Hello, Chongor.
Hey, what's up?
I've brought you an invitation from Dr. Zuldmali.
Oh, how nice of her greenness. Hey, you want to listen to my awesome new song? A bit of trap and dubstep, but kinda EDM? A club mix. Come and listen.
I'm in a hurry now, but won't miss it next time.
Okay, no problem. Later.
Hi, Imre.
Attention! Alien on the spaceship! Alien entity irradiated! Hello, Jonathan Hunt. What's news in faraway galaxies?
Invitation for hiking on planet Endor. Or is this a different story?
From Emma Zoldamali. Totally different story. Why, did she send it with you?
Well, it turned out so.
Anyway, thank you. Want a bubble drink?
Rather not, thanks. I'm on my way.
As you like. I won't keep you back with tractor beam.
Hi, Tomoro.
Hey, Jonathan. What brings you here?
I've brought an invitation from Dr. Emma Zuldmali.
You? Thanks a lot. Is that all?
I think so, yes. Bye for now.
Bye, Jonathan.
An invitation from Dr. Zuldmali.
Good morning, Mr. Kakashi. May I disturb you for a second?
You may not otherwise, but you're not disturbing me right now, so tell me what you want.
Aren't you invited to Mrs. Zuldmali's hike?
How do you know?
I happen to have the invitations with me, and I don't see one for you.
No, I'm not going. She used to invite me, but she no longer does. I go fishing for the weekend. It's as good as their hiking and their silence. Only me and the stars.
I understand, if you wish to be alone. But I do believe that if you fancy some company, you should just say so in the radiocarbon lab.
You think so?
I do.
Okay. Next time I'll think it over.
Mr. Kakashi, are you interested in meteorites?
Not particularly. I'm more interested in them when they're still in the air and called meteors or bolides. Why do you ask?
I just happened to come across some studies on special, although not unique meteorites, which I found thrilling.
What special meteorites?
Those that have a crust and there's a sizable piece of diamond inside, with inclusions containing an unknown deadly gas or material.
You must have read this in a sci-fi magazine. It's silly fiction.
And what if I tell you that it was in the research documents of a reputable Hungarian scientist?
Even so, I don't believe it. As a scientist, I seldom use the word impossible, but I dare say this is absolutely unlikely.
But not impossible.
But not impossible.
What would you think if you could see one?
I'd consider it fake, of course. But let me know if you come across this celestial diamond.
You will know about it, I assure you. You haven't taken advantage of Mr. Leotsky's permission to decorate your workplace.
No, I haven't. I only had this blue mood lighting installed. It's so celestial, if you know what I mean.
Can you tell me about the radiochemistry lab?
Well, I don't have much time, but if you want a short brief, we are chemists who work with radioactive material. You can see the sign on that door, warning about radiation hazard. Let's say a material is irradiated by the cyclotron, some oxygen, for example. The oxygen is transmuted to radioactive fluorine. Then the radiochemist attaches this fluorine to a sugar molecule. This is needed for the PET diagnostics, a nuclear medical imaging technology to detect this radioactive sugar in the body. But from this point, it's not my business. So to put it simply, we work with radioactive material here. This is why we need special protective measures. But if you have a test tube of non-radioactive material, of course we could investigate that too in our standard lab.
I see. At least I think I do. Thank you, Mr. Kakashi. One more thing, Ernu. I've got Miss Zuldmali's invitation for you.
Oh, how kind of you. Are you sure you don't want some coffee?
No, thanks. I'm in a rush. Here I am, everything done. And Mr. Veresh sends you this toolbox. He's thankful to you.
Very good. And where are the invitations?
I've delivered them, of course.
Oh, that's kind of you, but I didn't ask you to do it. I thought you were just going to bring me the package, but that's even better. Nice fella you are.
Yes, maybe a little too nice.
And in return, here are the keys to the display.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vince.
Let's check if this collection reveals any new information. Well, well. Somebody's moved this newspaper clipping recently. Maybe Sherlock Holmes could deduce who and when. At any rate, there's less dust here than elsewhere. A folded newspaper clipping. An interview from 1979. Aha, a coffee stain. This is why they had to hide the third column. This belongs here. I can come back anytime if I need it again. This park is splendid. A folded paper. Maybe a secret message to someone's sweetheart. I'm in the right place. The dome leaves no doubts. A woman with a charming face. It's hard to imagine a solar physicist until you see one, but they're just like anyone else.
Good morning, madam.
What is it about, please?
As far as I know, a Balaj gull has visited you recently.
Are you?
Excuse me. My name is Jonathan Hunt. I'm a friend of the family. His sister, Vero, asked me to find out what happened.
Are you a detective?
Well, yes. This is what she calls it.
All right, then. Ask away.
Can you tell me when the boy came by?
On Friday. I told Mr. Lutsky, too.
Perhaps, but he forgot to mention. Please, tell me more about the visit.
There's not much. The boy wanted someone to help him with a calculation.
I see. And did he talk to a colleague of yours? I assume it wasn't you.
I had other things to attend. It was David Borosh he talked to.
The surroundings are more pleasant than her manners.
Did the boy leave anything here? A description, a book, a photo, a piece of paper?
No, why should he?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to rely on his memory, whatever he wanted to calculate.
Not to my knowledge, but he said he'd come back later.
Ah, and has he?
I would have told Mr. Ludsky if he had. Any more questions?
Did the boy mention some kind of a meteorite to you?
A meteorite? No. He was interested in some calculation.
But you weren't.
Now look here. I couldn't care less about some meteorites or this boy. Dr. Ludsky at Atomki rang the alarm bell, and I thought it was a good idea to tell him what I knew. But maybe it wasn't.
But it was. Can I talk to your colleague, David Borosh? Our discussion doesn't seem to make much sense.
Believe me, I don't find it too amusing either. You can bet I'd have passed you on to him, if he were here.
Like you did with the boy on Friday.
Like I did with the boy on Friday. But David's on holiday. He might be in tomorrow.
Might?
He's a mountaineer. We won't even try to bother him with a call. Really, I was a fool calling up Lahutsky.
You weren't then. Thank you for your help.
It wasn't worth coming here for.
Why, this botanic garden is magnificent. I might come back later. Bye.
I'm glad. Goodbye.